Hi guys, girls, non-binds, welcome back to my channel. I am Leah Solmaz. Welcome back to the How to Draw tutorial series. Here is episode 5. And in this episode, we'll be learning how to draw with colouring pencils. So I'll be giving the basics. If you do want to follow along, what you will need is some colouring pencils. These are just basic cheap colouring pencils from Amazon. I can't remember how much I paid for them, but yeah, the brand is, oh wow, it's actually Staedtler. I've never used them really. I bought them last year aiming to use them. I have a feeling, I mean, there's some fluff on that's great proof I haven't used them. So yeah, that's the design of the pencil if anyone's interested. Okay, so let's start with basic primary colours. So we have red, we have blue, and we have yellow. So with these ones, I have not used them. So how you can tell the quality of colouring pencils is if you hold it to the light, whether or not it's shiny. Now these aren't too bad, to be honest. They're not as shiny. If they were a little bit shiny, that means there's a lot of filler within the pencil. So let's just get some swatches down. Now the paper that I'm using, the sketchbook, it's kind of not rough, but there's a little bit of a grain to it. So, and I'm not sure if these are showing up properly on this camera. Let's see what the yellow. So with colouring pencils, it does actually depend on what canvas you're using. Now on this camera, this sketchbook will look, there is a slight creamy colour to the actual paper. So yeah, on a bright white sheet of paper, these will actually show up a little bit brighter, and obviously the darker you go with your canvas, they will show up a bit darker or not show up at all. Yeah, let's do the primary colour wheel. So basic circle, break it down into thirds. The basic primary colours are red, how's this for some ASMR? Oh, I coloured outside the line, I'm so sorry. That's not good ASMR. Yeah, so red, blue, and yellow. So these are what are known as your primary colours. To get a bit more fancy, obviously we know there's so many different colours in the world. So if we break this into 6, so let's start again with our red, our blue. Now I'm purposely leaving a gap between these, as you'll find out in a minute as to why I'm doing that. So I mean, these are things that we learn in primary school, like colours and things like that, but it's good to recap on them just in case. Now, why have I left these blank? Well, we're going to fill in the secondary colours. So now secondary colours, how you actually get them is if you mix a red, I'm not sure if these will work, maybe I should just grab a the right colour. No, it's not really worked properly. Let's just find the actual secondary colours in this pack. So red and blue make this beautiful purple. Not this exact shade, but we're cheating this now. Yeah, what's next? Red and yellow make orange. Blue and yellow make green. So these are the secondary colours. Now I could have just done a tri-wheel with purple, green and orange in them, but you know, let's stick to it. Those are your secondary colours. So you've got your primary, which are red, yellow and blue, and secondary colours would be those primary colours mixed. So with red and blue you get purple, red and yellow you get orange, and yellow and blue you get green. As we all know, there's millions of like shades of colours out there, and how you can make more colours would be to divide those sections even further. So if we went with, say, green and blue, so we should get a turquoise shade, something like that. But yeah, those are your primary colours and your secondary colours. For the sake of this video, you've then got your monotone colours. So monotone, and I actually think grey falls in this, so maybe we'll do a box for the grey as well. You've got monotone colours, which are white, black, and grey. Now these colours can be used in with your primary, your secondary to make so different shades of the colours that you're using. So yeah, moving on. So with gritted paper, the colouring pencils do tend to leave a bit of a grainy finish. So to blend that out, here are some different pencil strokes that you can use. So what I've just done there is a cross hatch. So all you do is do pencil lines going one way and then interject that with pencil strokes going the other way, and it starts to give a bit of a smoother finish. It hides the lines a bit more when you go this way and that way. Yeah, to get kind of metallic feel, I'd leave the lines in and just keep going the same direction over and over. Basic one directional line work. The next pencil stroke that you can use is slight circles just over themselves like that, and it kind of gives a bit of a fluffy texture to the penciling. So these are just different textures. You can do heavy lines like that, looks very sketchy. And then finally, if you've got the patience, you can do dots for colouring in. But yeah, I haven't got that kind of patience. Let's just go over some of the pencil stroke techniques that you can use with colouring pencils. So crosshatch, just one directional strokes, circles. I don't know what to call that, just rushed, rushed. And then you've got dot work. You need like the patience of a saint to do. So using pencil and paper, it's really important to remember that you always go light to dark with your colours. So what I mean by that, if I go really, really light like that, and then I want to kind of add a bit of shading to an object, I'd push down a little bit harder to get a bit more of a deeper colour. Hopefully that's not shaking the camera. It did a little bit, I think. Always remember to go light to dark, and then you can kind of build your colours and layers. So this is the next point on my little list over there, layering. So you can kind of practice this a little bit. So it's all down to the pressure that you hold your pencil. So press down hard and you get a lot more definition to that colour. So the harder we press down with this red, the deeper the colour looks. So yeah, the point that I missed out, so let's go back to our primary and secondary colours. So using these particular wheels, especially using the secondary colours, you do have what is known as contrasting colours. They're usually opposing colours, so purple and yellow are contrasting colours. So let's just do a little grid here. Purple and yellow. Now contrasting colours are just that, in the fact that they make each other stand out. So red and green are the next contrasting colours. So yeah, side by side they do make each other pop. Lastly, it's blue and orange. Again, if you were to break that wheel down further into varying shades of their respective colours, the opposite colours on the wheel be their contrasting colours. So hopefully that clears that up. Moving on, let's give you a bit of an exercise. So if we want to make, let's say, this cylinder, we want to make that look 3D because it looks a bit flat. It's just a basic 2D line drawing. Let's go blue. So I've got 3 varying shades of blue in this little kit. So I think that's like a navy blue, light blue, and then kind of a medium blue. It's very similar to the navy, to be honest. I don't know if you can see that. Where's the camera? That's good, I'm trying to show you. So yeah, always remember light to dark. So we're starting with the lightest blue in this kit, and we're just going very light with the pencil work. In my first video, I did mention point of light. So let's imagine the point of light here. So a bit of a yellow light. Just hitting like this. So with that point of light on the right, the shadow will be cast on the left. So let's move down to the next shade down. I think that's this one. So I'm not going to do much with the darker blue on this side, just very light, defining that edge. Just off center left, let's just put a light line. Now you can see we're kind of bringing out its shape. And then the darker blue. So it's interesting to see these colours actually. There's a bit of a purple tint to the darkest blue in the kit. Now, the beauty of colouring pencils is like you can follow the shape with the strokes. So we're doing one directional strokes here, and it just helps bring the curve of the cylinder. So the closer to the base, we're going to get a bit darker because we're losing the point of light. So definitely on this corner. And let's just go a bit darker on this edge. So now I'm just taking a yellow to bring out the side that's kind of closest to the light. So the top, I'd start with the yellow because it's a lighter colour than the blue. Go over that yellow with probably not the light blue. Let's go with that dark. Is that the dark one? Yeah. So yeah, that's the basics of shading with colouring pencils, and I mean we can just add a bit of a shadow line so it looks like it's on a table or a surface or something like that. So closer to the object, darker. So pressing down a bit heavier with the pencil to get a bit of a darker colour. And then the further, go back, shadow just kind of fades off onto the surface. So that's the basics of colouring pencils. It's all about experimenting, and with art it's very much down to building your own style, and you'll find what works best for you and what doesn't. No two art styles are the same, everyone's very unique. Explore, you know, some other YouTubers out there might have different techniques that I haven't covered in this. But yeah, hopefully that's helped if you're debating whether or not to use colouring pencils. I enjoy making these videos a lot, and I'm really happy that I've gotten back to starting up the series again. If there's a particular subject you'd like me to cover, do drop a comment. Some of the tricks and tips that I've picked up, hopefully they'll help you, you lovely guys, girls, non-binds. Do subscribe if you found that helpful, and yeah, if you have any of your own tips, tricks to using colouring pencils, do drop a comment down below. If you have a video link, drop that down below. You know, it's all about sharing on my channel. But that's it. Stay awesome, stay classy, be kind, have fun, and bye. Looks like it's in this. Episode 5, I think. Here it is. If you do want to follow along, basics of colouring pencil basics. I think I'm going to have a look. But yeah, I don't know what that is.